Hello, good morning, students. So we will continue with the further topic today. So just to glance on the last topic, what we have discussed, we have seen the introduction of curves. We have seen what different types of curves we have, namely horizontal curves and vertical curves. And you have seen types of horizontal curves. It will be simple circular curve, compound curve, and then reverse curve. So you know the definitions of all the three, and after that we have seen what different elements of a curve will be, like the basic definitions of all the topics, all the contents or elements it has, like back tangent, forward tangent, point of intersection, then point of curve, point of tangency, then we have angle of intersection, and then we have long chord, mid ordinate, external distance, and then we have something called deflection angle, then we have normal chord, subchord. So these are all the things what you are supposed to know whenever you draw a curve, right? So when you draw the curve, remember that you need to draw a whole thing of that, right? So starting from the basic details of that particular curve, you are supposed to show whole thing. So curve in civil engineering is not single arc, it is going to have number of things attached to that. So whenever you show a curve, you are supposed to show the whole thing, whatever you have seen in the previous topic. So the whole diagram what I had on the particular board, you are supposed to have it completely, right? So moving ahead, so today's topic is designation of curve. So whenever I have to call a curve, so how I am going to designate that curve? In the sense, every human being will be recognized by his name. So when we have number of curves in front of us, if I have to uh, call a particular curve, so how I am going to call by that curve, or how I am going to designate that curve. So designation in the sense, so the name of the curve, or how exactly we recognize the curve as, right? So how exactly we recognize the curve is by two ways, either by its radius or by degree of curvature. So we will either call the curve by its radius or by its degree of curvature. So if I have number of curves in front of me, so one curve might have 100-meter radius, isn't it? So that curve is a 100-meter radius curve. Another curve if I have of 200-meter radius, then I call that as 200-meter radius curve. So this is how we identify the curves as. So based on the radius. So another way of designating the curve is by degree of curvature, right? So this is generally adopted in the countries like Great Britain, England, and the degree of curvature is the one what generally we Indians and American, Canada, these are the countries which follow such kind of nomenclature for the curves. So we Indians designate the curve by its degree, right? So let us see, this is quite easy to understand, and let us see what exactly degree of curvature means, right? So to make you understand degree of curvature, and degree of curvature itself has got two definitions. So one is arc definition, and another is chord definition. So I am going to tell you what exactly is arc definition of degree of curvature first, then I will move ahead with the chord definition. So arc definition, what exactly a degree of curvature based on arc definition is, if I have a curve of certain radius, right, that curve I have to have the length of the curve equal to 100 feet. So arc length has to be 100 feet. So from here, so if I say that if this length of the arc is 100 feet, right, from here to here the curve is of 100 feet having the radius r. Then based on arc definition, what is degree of curvature or degree of the curve is this angle, right? The angle subtended at the center by a curve of 100 feet length or by a arc of 100 feet length. So what is degree of curve? Remember, I am talking about degree of curve. So this is definition of degree of curve based on arc definition. So degree of curve is the angle subtended at the center by an arc of 100 feet length, right? So whatever is the angle, so by this angle we are going to tell what is the degree of the curve is, right? For an example, if the degree of curve is 2 degree, so that means this angle is 2 degree, right? So the curve which will have 100 feet will subtend an angle of 2 degree at the center, right? So as you can see, you can have a relation between radius and degree of curve, right? So how exactly is that the sense? If I know what is the radius of the curve, then I can easily get what exactly is the degree of the curve. Or in a reverse way, if I know what is the degree of the curve, I can find out what is the radius. So we will bring out the relation between the two, right? So if I know radius, how I am going to get the degree, or if I know degree of the curve, how I am going to get the radius, right? So I will just make it a smaller diagram so that we can derive it, right? So the same diagram what we had here, I am going to draw it here. So D is the degree of the angle and this is 100 feet, remember, right? And this is the radius of the curve. Now I want to bring up the relation between this degree and radius of the curve. How I am going to do that is, if I have 100 feet, right, for that I am going to have, right, D as the central angle. 100 feet of arc length gives you angle D at the center. If total length of arc, so if this is continued and if you make one complete circle, length of complete circle, that becomes circumference, right? So circumference will have 2 pi r length. So length of the circumference will be 2 pi r. So for total circle, what will be the central angle subtended? So it will be 360 degree, isn't it? For 100 feet arc length, D is the central angle. For 2 pi r, 360 degree will be the angle at the center, right? So now I am going to have this in a simplified form by multiplying the exterior terms and the interior terms and equating them, right? So I will multiply 100 and 360, right? Then this will be equal to D into 2 pi r, isn't it? Now I will have radius at one side and I will send all other things on the other side, like keeping radius here. If you send the other terms on the left hand side, so it becomes 100 into 360 divided by 2 pi into D, isn't it? So if I calculate how much will be this except D, because except D all other are the terms which are well known, a significant number we have. So if I calculate this whole thing, so I will be getting around approximately 5730. 100 into 360 divided by 2 pi will be approximately equal to 5730, and in the denominator you have D as it is, right? So this is what I am going to talk about, radius and the degree of the curve. So if I know what is the degree of the curve, I can easily get the radius of the curve, right? And if I know what is the radius of the curve, and once again I can easily find out the degree. So you can even reverse these terms. D is equal to 5730 divided by half. This also holds good. So when I know what is the radius of the curve, I can still get the degree of the curve. So you can just imagine if I have the degree of the curve here as 2, right? So to make it very simple for you, if the degree of the curve is 1 degree, right? That means what? Angle, if it is 1 degree here, so what will be the radius of the curve? So it will be exactly 5730 feet, because it is arc definition and this is feet here, isn't it? So radius will also be in terms of feet. So if degree of the curve is 1, right? So radius will be equal to 5730. And if the degree of the curve is 2, right? What happens to radius? Radius will become exactly half, because d is equal to 2, right? So 5730 divided by 2. So what exactly this indicates is, as degree of curve is going to increase, radius will reduce, isn't it? So this is larger radius arc, this is further smaller radius arc, and this is further smaller radius arc, isn't it? So this will have smaller radius, so that means what? This has going to have larger degree of curve, this going to have more degree of curve, and this is going to have less degree of curve, right? So less the degree of the curve, more will be the radius, and more the degree of the curve, less the radius, isn't it? So this kind of curve is more preferred in railways than this, isn't it? So that means what? Railways will have the degree of curve well smaller, isn't it? For railways, it varies between 1 to 6, right? So you are not supposed to have any of the degree of the curve more than 6. So more than 6 means smaller radius, so it becomes very difficult for the railways to turn, right? So that is why railways will have the degree of the curve between the range 1 to 6. So less is the degree of the curve, more will be the comfort to travel in that particular road, isn't it? So in national highways, the degree of the curve will go up to 20. In roads it is possible, so to have a smaller radius curve, right? But in railways, smaller radius curve are not preferred, so that is why, so degree of curve can go up to 20, right? So this is what is arc definition, right? So another way how you can define degree of curve is by chord definition, right? So just to tell you what exactly is chord definition. Of course, chord definition has got very similar definition as that of arc, only arc will get replaced by chord here. So the second one, that is chord definition of degree of curve, right? So chord definition will go somewhat like this. If there is a curve, right, if I draw a chord, the chord, if it is 100 feet, so this is the chord, right? So chord, if it is 100 feet, right, then the angle subtended at the center will be the degree of curve, isn't it? So what is degree of curve? Chord, I mean based on chord definition, is it is the angle subtended at the center by a chord of 100 feet length, right? So in our definition it is arc length, but here it is chord length. So chord length has to be 100 feet, and then whatever angle you get at the center, so that angle will be the degree of curve of that particular curve. So now if I have to get the relation between this degree of curve and radius, then I have to make use of, so whenever I have a perpendicular to the chord, so it is going to bisect the chord, because perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord will bisect the chord. This is what the theorem what you have studied in your school days for the circles. So if you remember, any perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord will bisect the chord. So length of the chord is 100 feet. So bisecting the chord in the sense what? This will be 50 feet and this will be 50 feet. Understood? So it will exactly bisect the chord. So 100 feet will be bisected into two halves, 50 feet and 50 feet. Now definitely this total angle is D. Half of D will be here, half of D will be here, isn't it? So D by 2 here, D by 2 here. And if you just observe, this is a right angle triangle, what you can see here. So if I call this as O and this as A, B, C. So OAC is one right angle triangle. In that right angle triangle, one of the angle is D by 2, isn't it? And this is radius and this itself is the hypotenuse of that triangle. So opposite to 90 degree is hypotenuse and it is R, right? And opposite of D by 2 we have 50 feet, isn't it? So opposite of the angle we have 50 feet. Now if I have to get the relation between R and D by 2, I can make use of sine D by 2, sine of this angle. So sine of this angle will be opposite divided by hypotenuse, right? Isn't it? So if I have to take sine D by 2, it will be opposite 50 feet, hypotenuse R, isn't it? Sine of this angle will be opposite divided by hypotenuse, that is R. Now if I have to consider R, R will be equal to 50 divided by sine D by 2, isn't it? 50 divided by sine D by 2. Since we are dealing with the angles which are quite small, 1 degree, 2 degree, so sine D by 2 can be considered as D by 2 radians itself, isn't it? Because this D itself is quite a small angle and D by 2 will be further small. So definitely sine D by 2 will become D by 2 itself. So remember, whenever the angle is small, sine of any angle will be equal to angle itself, but it will be in terms of radians. Remember this, right? So sine theta is equal to theta when theta is small and it will be in terms of radians. To convert any angle from radian to degree, we will multiply it by pi by 180, isn't it? So I can write sine D by 2 as D by 2 itself, but if I want that in terms of degree, then I have to multiply it by pi into 180. So if I do that here, R will be equal to 50 divided by sine D by 2 is D by 2 itself. Since it is in radians, if I have to convert this into degree, then I have to multiply it by pi by 180, isn't it? So now R is equal to 50 divided by D by 2 into pi by 180. So once again R you have, and remaining terms here if I calculate, right? So that is 2 into 180, that will go to the upper side, so it becomes 100, because 50 into 2, 100 into 180 divided by pi, isn't it? So if I have to calculate the whole thing and if I have to get the value, so that comes out once again 5730 divided by D. So if you calculate this, right, you will get the whole thing again same as the earlier arc definition. So what I mean to say here is, whether it is arc definition or chord definition, you are going to end up having the same relation between radius and the degree of the curve, right? So if I am talking about a radius and degree relationship, whether it is chord definition or arc definition, I am going to get the same value, right? So this is about the chord definition of degree of curve. I hope you understood what is degree of curve and the relation between radius and degree. So remember, if I have been given some curve with radius, I should know how to get the degree of the curve. And if some curve is given the degree of the curve, I should know what is the radius of that curve. For an example, if I have to show you, So in your examination, you may be a given problem where you will be given radius or you may be given degree of the curve, and when the solution you will be expecting will be in terms of radius. So that is why if degree of certain curve is 2, then if I ask you what is the radius of that curve, then you simply have to use this formula 5730 divided by d. Substitute d as 2, you will get what is the radius. Understood this? Half of this, isn't it? Because degree of curve is 2. So you just see how much is this value. So many feet it is, right? So make sure that whatever you get will be in terms of feet. So radius can be calculated when degree of the curve is given. In a similar way, sometimes radius will be given some number like 600 meter. If radius of the curve, if it is given 600 meter, then if they ask you what is the degree of the curve, then you should be able to calculate. So formula remains same. So let me take it this way itself. Same formula, change the terms d and r. So it is the same formula which reflects here. So 5730 divided by radius is 600, right? But this is in terms of meter, isn't it? So you are supposed to convert this into feet and then get the degree of the curve. I hope this is clear. So this is how you are supposed to calculate the radius and degree of the curve when the other one is given to you, right? So similar problems will be asked in your examination to calculate degree or the radius, or sometimes they will give you data where conversion is required, right? As a preliminary step to solve that problem, you may be required to convert the one which is given in degree to radius, or the one which is given in radius to degree of the curve, right? So I hope this is well understood for you. So this is what the basic thing what you need to understand about the degree of the curve. So whenever you designate the curve in India, so we are supposed to tell what is the degree of the curve. 1 degree curve, 2 degree curve, 3 degree curve. This is how you designate the curve as, right? So the next topic will be the elements of curve. So we will be discussing it in the next video. Thank you very much.